G'day, it is Dave Bruce from Amplify, and I'm talking to Josh Middleton from Sylosis, the great Sylosis. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, how are you?
Good, 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 good. Next year, you've been together a quarter of a century. You don't even look 25. How'd the band come together? Where did it all begin?
Just kids in school. Like we were like 11, 12 at the time. So the first day of high school for me, I met a kid who I was sat next to and I played guitar. I didn't know anyone else at the school. Turned out he played drums. Turned out he lived down my street. So I literally just took my little amp and guitar down his house and we started the band then. He's not still in the band. We've been to
How,
many
how,
like I don't
how,
think it is.
sorry, how old were you then?
Yeah,
So
like 11 or 12.
the band actually started then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. Was that Glenn, was it?
No, Jay, our old drummer, and then we
Jay.
got a few other members, and yeah, it's been going, as I say, tons of different lineup changes, but that's when we started
How
the band and came up with the name.
how like when were you gigging? Were you gigging when you were teenagers?
Yeah, yeah. Our parents would kind of drop us off at shows and that kind of
Must,
thing.
must have
The
been,
first,
that must have been
pardon?
that must have been mad. As you know now, music's a pretty big responsibility. You got to turn up. You got to rehearse. You got to record. You've got to be disciplined. And when you're a teenager, I don't think there's too much of that going on at all, is there? Ahead of your
Oh,
time.
that was for us. Yeah, it's all we wanted to do. So we would rehearse as much as we could and just wanted to be a proper band from the very start. So the first proper show we did was a battle of the bands and we won. And we won like the
Oh,
recording of our first demo.
fantastic. What bands were you following at the time? Like who were the inspirations?
It was yeah, all kinds of stuff. There was a lot of extreme metal, so a lot of like Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, but then we just wanted to be like a metal band. So like Pantera, like Great Southern Trendkill and More Things Change, Machine Head, Sepultura, and then yeah, all the more extreme stuff. And like it was still kind of just coming out of the new metal phase as well. So I think there was an element of that. And we're just like anything, like Hatebreed, hardcore bands,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything heavy.
Well, that's fantastic. How would you describe your sound? Metal Hammer said this is what real metal sounds like when executed by the best of the best. That's a pretty
Oh,
big statement. So,
that's a cool statement. Yeah.
how would you describe your sound?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to sound like just metal, like it sounds like it's boring. But the kind of the main what the aim of the band was when we were growing up was just to fill that, just being one of those metal bands. Like we always loved Metallica, Pantera, Machine Head, Sepultura. And although we had elements of extreme stuff that we liked or thrash, we just wanted to be like a metal band, and that's kind of still where I see us. And all the bands I just mentioned, all that kind of like 90s metal, or if you look at bands like Lamb of God, Chimera, there aren't really many bands kind of filling that void right now. And that's kind of just the lane that I see Sylosis in.
And with so much music coming out, especially over your way, over the years, what do you think fans have resonated with your music? What have they what
I
have
don't
they
know. I mean,
what have they sort of how have they separated you from the rest?
just because as I said, I don't think there are many bands doing the sort of music that we do. So we're just on our own in a way. Like, I mean, Malevolence, our friends, they definitely kind of close to that, and they've got more of an element of like hardcore and what they do. And then our drummers, other band Bleed from Within, similar thing. But yeah, I guess like when the band first came out with our first record and the first few records, there was no one really doing our kind of thing. There was like some revival thrash thing going on, but we weren't really part of that, and we weren't part of the metalcore scene. So we were just like on our own, and I think the band always did well. So there's just, we've stuck to what we do. And for people that like the sort of music that we do, there's not a lot of it out there. So they kind of stick with us, I guess.
And you've always got along because you got together early. You've had a lot of band changes in there, but I suppose the core group
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, well, yeah. None of the guys that started the band have been in the band for about 20 years. It's just me. So lots of lineup changes since then.
Okay, okay. Having said that, Glenn left in 2009. You took over the vocals. No?
No, Glenn left in 2003, I think.
Oh, I was looking at, maybe it might have been 2003. I might have got that wrong. You took over the
Um,
vocals.
yeah, in 2010, our singer Jamie left,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
that's when I took
I
over.
looked at,
That's all
I
right.
was doing some research on Wikipedia. Don't believe Wikipedia. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so why weren't you doing vocals before that?
Um,
Because you obviously
it
have a
wasn't a
voice.
it wasn't a thing back then. So, like in the new metal kind of era, there weren't many like vocalists playing guitar, and I just didn't even think to try and do vocals. Then I didn't really see myself as being the singer. I was always just a guitarist writing riffs first and foremost.
Yep.
And then it got to the point where we had done our first record, and then after that, we didn't want to spend ages losing momentum trying to find the right personality, the right
Yeah.
vocalist.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
tried to learn. I tried to learn on the spot, like how to do it.
And in some ways, your fans are probably going to accept you singing, 80%, not that you do, rather than try and bring in someone new and get used to, someone new. So that's
Yeah,
probably not a bad decision. Uh,
yeah,
you brought out a sign of things to come last September, I hope. Uh,
yep.
what's that all about? What was that all album about?
There's no real concept on the album. It's just I think just our best music. I think we just wanted to do our version of like a classic metal record and really kind of hone in and think about what that would look like for us and just streamline things a bit and put more focus on like memorable parts and make the music feel a bit more energized and a bit more exciting. So yeah.
What are the signature tracks for you? What are the tracks that have resonated in the year, and also which ones do you love to play live if they're different?
The first four or five tracks, I would say for both of those, like Deadwood, The Sign of Things to Come, Pariahs, Poison for the Lost. Those four in particular are staples in the set, I think, and they're my favorite ones to play.
Uh-huh. You're touring next year with Angel Makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah, next Feb, I think. What are you looking
yeah.
forward to? What can the fans expect?
I mean, it's going to be our first time back in Australia in 11 years, so
Yeah,
uh, it's
since
going to be, yeah, it's just going to be great to get back out there. It's one of our favorite places to play, to tour. Uh, People, food, coffee,
everything.
weather, everything's great about Australia.
You're here with Soundwave, I recall, back in 2013, and Soundwave used to be
Yeah,
a ripper, but as all things do, it passed. Yeah, no,
yeah.
so it's good. You remember much of your last trip? Like you
Well,
remember Australia?
I've been to Australia a lot with architects over the years recently. So I was
Ah,
only there like just over a year ago, a year and a half maybe.
with architects.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you play with architects, do you?
I was in the band for 7 years, but I left last year. Yeah,
Ah, okay, okay. I didn't know that. Aha, well, there's another great band. I love architects. If you could perform with any music, some of these are pretty, standard uh, interview fare. So, they're not necessarily cerebral, some of these. So, I excuse myself up early. If you could perform with any music artist, alive or dead, who would you choose?
uh, James Hetfield, I guess, one of my
Yeah,
biggest heroes.
yeah. Why? All the way through, he's been a hero.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Boom, boom. What long-term aspirations? After 25 years, you're still young. What long-term aspirations do you have as a music artist?
Just to be the biggest band possible.
Yeah,
Whatever that looks like for Sylosis, just keep doing it. I mean, I just enjoy it no matter what size we're at. So, yeah,
keep touring.
yeah, yeah,
play Wembley, play maybe not Wembley. I'm not sure. Do they play metal at Wembley? They probably do, I suppose. Do they? They probably have.
Yeah. We played there last year with Lamb of God.
You've already done it.
Yeah, I've done it 3 times.
Oh, what was that like?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I played it twice supporting and once headlining with Architects.
How do you like you come across to me as not a very out there, or you probably would you call yourself introverted or extroverted? Not so
Oh,
much
introverted,
stage.
yeah.
Yeah, you come across as somebody that. So how do you experience these things? Like, I think about it from a conscious point of view. We're all on a journey, and we start somewhere and we're going somewhere, and we've got head fucks all the time and all this sort of stuff. How do you deal with all the measurement? How do you deal with the changes, like social media now versus 20 years ago, when everything was a lot more manual and practical? How do you deal with all the streaming and all that sort of stuff? Because there's a lot more demands on a band to sort of produce something for this TikTok age we live in.
I mean, yeah, that stuff doesn't affect me too much. Like that's what the label and our management always take care of a lot of that stuff.
So you just turn up and do
I
the.
just write the music.
It sounds.
Yep.
What advice would you give to an artist starting out?
Just write the best music possible. Try and get good recordings. Put your money into really good recordings. Practice and just be good. And if all the people that I'm friends with that are successful in music, whatever that may look like, are the ones that just stuck with it and persevere.
Yeah. But a lot of times, especially in this social media age, people want numbers, and you don't want numbers until you're good. Because if you get numbers when you're not good, they don't come back. So make sure you're good before you worry about getting numbers. I agree. What's the best thing about performing to a live audience?
I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like until you've done it, I mean, yeah, it's just like a bit of a rush, I guess. Just a lot of fun. It's great just being playing music, just even without an audience is cool. But when there's an audience, and particularly if they're into it or if you can get them into it, yeah, I couldn't tell you the specifics, but it is a lot of fun.
What
I've
was
never really like analyzed it.
How did you deal with the transition from not singing to singing from that introverted perspective? Was that difficult?
That just came with time, yeah. I think particularly in the last few years, I've got a lot better as a front man. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like shy and I'm not like not confident. I just don't.
So you become someone different on stage, and then off stage you go back to Clark Kent. You become Superman on stage, or is it all the way through?
No, same person. My introvertness is just I don't like being around people for the most part, but I do it when I'm on stage, and I'm not a different person. I'm exactly the same.
That's fair enough.
I don't shout at people at home, but on stage, that's just kind of part of being in a metal band, I guess.
Yeah. What's been the career highlight so far?
Don't know. It's a tough one. I think like when we came back, like from the hiatus, and we did the sold out London show, that was fun.
Yeah.
Obviously with the Architects, we supported Metallica last year, so getting to play with Metallica was cool.
Cool. I think they probably would have sold a few T-shirts at the show, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Metallica just that must
sold
have been an experience. Did you get to hang out with them, or are they a little bit separate?
Yeah, very briefly. Yeah, just they came and hung out for about 10 minutes. I mean,
they're absolutely
yeah.
All right, we're going to finish off. We've got about 5 minutes. I've got some short questions. So let's see if we can't get you opening up for a couple of these. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? The police.
Yeah, nothing really. Nothing crazy for me, I'm afraid.
Nothing.
Well, these sorts of
What
questions.
Happened to that old groupie situation where, you play a show and 10 girls come on back and you take drugs and you end up...
I think you're getting confused with the 80s. That doesn't happen
Probably
these days.
Probably.
I've never seen that in my life.
No,
anyone's show, even when we're supporting a bigger band.
no. So you've done nothing crazy. What about
No,
what about eating Vegemite on toast without putting butter down first? That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, I don't like butter, so yeah, I'll put that one there.
What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Metal, thrash metal, death metal.
So
Uh,
basically, you've grown up because you took this on so early. You've basically grown up a band. That's basically
yeah,
because your body started at a formulative age where most other people were off having different experiences, and you guys were basically a band right from the word go. That's interesting.
yeah.
That'd be an interesting conversation, even if you didn't want to talk about it. I think I could dig and find some interesting stuff. What's the thing you like most about yourself?
Um, I guess I'm quite regimented, quite disciplined, and I put in like a lot of effort in the things that I do. So if it's like production or writing music, I don't half-ass things.
It stands out. You know, if I wanted to get something done, you seem like a person that I'd come to get it done. Okay,
Thank you.
we'll finish on some favorite questions, and people hate these, so it's a good way to finish. You'll be glad when I'm finished. Favorite album,
Okay. I don't have one, but And Justice for All is up there.
favorite artist.
Yeah, Metallica,
That's a good one. Favorite movie.
Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, those two.
What was that? Say that again.
The Dark Knight, Batman,
Oh,
Christopher Nolan.
that's a great movie. It's got our great what's his name? Our great
He-
Australian actor, Heath Ledger,
Heath Ledger, yeah.
a fantastic actor. Favorite place to visit. You know, Heath was in a great movie, a great Australian movie. I can't remember what it was called now, early on, and he was fantastic in it. It was just like one of those Australian, knockabout movies, and he played a sort of a young guy that got hooked up with the wrong people. He was fantastic. Sorry, that was an early movie. Favorite place to visit.
Australia,
There you
and I
go.
mean it.
There you go. Favorite venue to play.
Uh, I'd like to get back to the Astoria. That's a cool one in London.
Yeah, that's come up a few times. Favorite food?
Curry.
Really? Oh, well, that's almost a given over there, isn't it? That's
Yep.
everyone the Indian. In fact, I think Patel's the most common name in the phone book over there. So I'd say the curries get a decent workout. Favorite drink?
I don't know. I'm pretty boring. Sparkling water. No, coffee. Coffee. I love coffee.
I love
Yeah,
coffee too, but
easy.
someone else said water today. One of the guys over here I didn't interview, he said water today. So it's a cheap night out. Don't be worried about
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah, yeah.
Favorite person in history?
Oh,
This can be anyone. You know, sometimes they say someone that's, some sort of, Mandela or legend or something. Sometimes they say mum. A couple of people have said me after they've met me.
Andy Sneap is my favorite producer. He's done a lot for good guitar tones in heavy music.
Well,
I'll just go with that.
I think that's a good one because, a lot of people probably wouldn't know him. There are a lot of people that, and a lot of times, like, these behind the scenes people are just, unbelievable. And, they're the ones that, it's a bit like a photographer and, his edit, the music comes together when you've got the right person creatively, pushing you in the right areas. So that's
Yeah,
important. And here's the last question. Don't tell me you haven't got a tattoo.
yeah. I've got a few. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Um, I think
What's
I can't see it, but I've got like the snake from the album cover on my back, but instead of being in a circle, it's kind of like winding, but it's the same
the,
skull at the
the
top.
whole back or just up?
Yeah, can't pretty much. I mean, well, no, it doesn't take up my whole back, but it's a big
Come
piece. So it
on.
is the length of my back. Yeah.
We're just about to finish. You can sort of take your top off and turn around, and I can maybe you don't want to be seen in that sort of light. Maybe that would be
No.
a good thing. All right, that's it, mate. That's it. That's all we need. It's 7:41. You probably got another one to go to. Enjoyed the
Yep.
chat. Good luck for the tour and the rest. And we'll pump this out and see if we can't get a few more people having a look.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll see you over there. Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
you will definitely. All the best.
Take care.
See you, mate. Bye
See you,
bye.
man.